guys, the Danielle Denise back again with a new video. Welcome back to my channel. I'm back today with another segment in my Road to PMH NP series. Today we have a planned and requested video for me to go over my application, basically my stats and supporting documents I use to get into school, such as my letter of intent, resume, GPA, etc., etc. So I am willing to share this with you guys because I'd love to pay it forward to be a great resource for others looking into programs similar to mine or any other graduate program or healthcare specific program. If you guys do not know, I have recently been accepted into graduate school in an entry-level Master's of Science in Nursing program for the Psychiatric and Mental Health Nurse Practitioner track. My program is different from others as I do come from a non-nursing background. For the first part, it's a pre-licensure program for us to receive a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing and gives us a chance to take the NCLEX and pass to become an RN. And then we continue the rest of our master's portion for our NP specialty track or whatever specialty track that we're interested in. That is just a little background for the program that I will be discussing today. Be sure if you want to follow me on this journey through that program and leading up to it and beyond, be sure to subscribe and leave a like down below. So I just want to preface, as per every video, by saying by no means am I bragging or trying to show off. I just want to be a resource for other students who were like myself, looking to see if they can get in, or those who have a fear that their low PGA or have a fear that their low GPA will keep them from getting into graduate school. I am living proof that you will be just fine. Follow your dreams, pursue them. No one can close a door that God has opened for you. So with that, I also want to say that by no means am I the golden standard for how to get into graduate school, or say like, do everything that I did and you'll get in. By no means am I saying that. Like I said in my previous video that I'll link above, I think there was some divine intervention. So get ready to hear my stats. You are welcome in advance if you are gracious to have me share this information with you. So for my prerequisites, human anatomy, I received a B+. Human physio, I received an A. I took them separately. Biochem and OChem I took together and I received an A- by the grace of God. Microbio, I received a B-. So those were for my science classes. I think for my science GPA I had about a 3.3. So then for my non-sciences, which is what I believe really helped me, my non-science GPA of just prereqs was a 3.9, which I was like, wow, I might be smart. So in communications for verbal, I received an A. General Psych, I received an A. Human Growth and Development, I had an A. And Statistics, I had an A. And the final non-science prereq that I have to take, I'm currently taking right now, is Research Methods, and I currently have an A in the class. Praying so that I end with an A in the class. So next I will talk about my resume. So for my resume, I went in, I had a template made and tried to make my resume look as professional as possible. I also decided to exclude a lot of the activities I participated in, and because as a dabbler, I like to try or join or participate in every club and activities and volunteer work that I ended up having to exclude. So I wanted to keep the most recent things and tried not to have my resume too cluttered. So some things on my resume that I would like to share. I won't share them all. To begin, of course, I have my education, my bachelor's degree, and it's a Bachelor's of Science in Allied Health or Behavior, whatever. It's basically biology. I don't feel like explaining it, but that's what I got my degree in. I served on an outreach team going to Mexico, and I worked in public health with a female doctor. Love that. And also, my favorite, it was my trip to the Dominican Republic, which I worked with a female dentist at the time. Other volunteer or shadowing experience that I included was my pathologist assistant shadowing, which I talked about earlier, that I wanted to be a pathologist assistant for a little bit. So that's something we talked about in my interview, like careers that I ruled out and how did I know that nursing was going to be for me. That was something that I included. So for work, we have my registered behavior position, registered behavioral tech position. I'm a student worker, so I worked as a receptionist for the dean of the School of Education, and I loved anatomy so much. Again, I was a TA. I just included some certifications like CPR, crisis prevention intervention, and then I included professional organizations that I am a part of. I was a social events chair for Sigma Alpha Pi of the National Society of Leadership and Success, Tri Beta or Beta Beta Beta, the National Biological Honor Society, part of that. And I was a treasurer for a pre-med society at the first college that I went to. And then, of course, included skills, lots of skills. I have skills. Like I said, I didn't include everything that I included in my resume, but the resume's packed. Your girl was booked and busy. If I'm gonna have a low GPA, I am going to show you that I was doing things. Might have hated school, but I didn't hate community service. Okay, you guys, so for my letter of intent or statement of purpose or personal statement, whatever you decide to call it, I'm realizing now, because I read over it, I considered reading it for you guys. I don't know if I'll do that, but if in the future you guys want to hear it, just let me know. Leave a comment down below and I'm cool to share it. Here's the thing. I only applied to one school. So I realized in my letter of intent or personal statement, I did not talk about my school at all. Maybe briefly touched on it in one sentence. So if they wanted me to like give props to the school for how great it is, I didn't really do that, but they still accepted me, so bless their hearts. I also went there for undergrad, which I think they already knew, so if I really talked about the school, they're like, hey, you probably already know about the school, there's not much you can really share or as to why you want to come back, because you're obviously making the choice to come back. So hopefully that was translated through the letter. I don't know if they really felt that. I talked about the pivotal moments in my life that brought me to want to become a psychiatric and mental health nurse practitioner. Why I chose that, how I got to that. Just real briefly, I talked about like high school, having best buddies and how that translated into me becoming an RBT, like life coming full circle. Talked about my ability to complete the program despite adversity, the adversity being my low GPA. And then I talked about my overall passion for mental health and destigmatizing mental health. So that's pretty much all I have to share about those. Other than that, they are my letters of recommendation, which I am not able to see. I only know what the forms look like. I had to check off some boxes and write some short statements about why I'm a good candidate. I don't know what those statements said. I would love to read them one day if I could. And that's that on that. Yes, so like I said, you guys, if concerned about your low GPA or anything, be sure to cushion it with extracurricular activities, clubs, try leadership roles if you can. If not, go on to like post-bac programs. I didn't do that. If you can, take your prereqs over, get really high grades with your prereqs. Like I said, my science prereq GPA was a 3.3 and my non-science was a 3.9. I think I got an A- in one of those classes. My overall was a 3.1 or 3.2. I know I'm not giving definite answers, but I don't feel like pulling up my transcripts. I think I deleted them because it was taking up too much space on my computer. Oh, another thing. I did not have to take the GRE. I made sure of that. With whatever program I was gonna apply to, I did not want to take any standardized tests. I did not take the SAT. I booked the ACT to get into to college, bought the book, never studied, had to show up, went in, it was winging it. I don't like standardized testing. I don't like tests, period. So that tells you anything about me. I prefer non-GRE programs. I prefer programs that look at the applicant from a holistic approach, and so I can show how great of a person I am, because I promise I'm a great person and I am not my GPA, which you guys should also look into that too if you do have a low GPA. That's about all that I have to share with you guys. I do want to also include interview tips, but I don't want to make this video too long, so be sure to subscribe. I hope this video was helpful for you all. Be sure to pass it on to a friend or anyone in need or that you know is interested, whether you're interested in PA school, in P school, whatever you need. So many blessings, and you guys got this. Stay strong. You got this. You're gonna make it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You got this.
That's good.